Salutations, fine everybody. I don't know what I was doing when I started that. And today we have a really good playoff match. I know I said that last time, and then it was not a very good game. Well, I lied. It was a pretty good game. I probably should false advertise like that. But today we have the Baltimore Baysox, and they will be taking on the Buffalo Bison. Um, I'm currently dealing with Rocket League on my end not starting. Oh. And the HUD not working. If y'all couldn't tell, we might need a little bit more time on that time before kickoff, given how this is going. But the scoreboard has not been working, and that has been driving me nuts because I like good quality streams. Well, y'all came for car soccer, not for me to yamble about my technical issues. Let's get to it. I think Buffalo pulls off the playoff win. Well, like, they pull off the playoff appearance. Will they pull off a playoff win? That's for time to tell. I can't tell you all that. It's not scripted, I swear. Trust me. But, they've been doing really good in practices. Of course, it doesn't really say much. But they've been doing spectacular. Their synergy is really nice. All three players are constantly hogging, well, like, being hounds on that ball, just constantly. And it's super cool to see this team finally show up. Currently multitasking, trying to get this HUD to work, and it's just not. So, okay, now the teams have not even came out yet, so that kickoff timer is inaccurate. We're gonna have to pull out a restart on that. Okay. Sadly, this stream is very scuffed because the bots are being strange today. But hey, let them be. Sometimes they're just goofy and don't want to come out. Well, let's get to the actual thing while I'm trying to multitask here. Sorry for the technical difficulties, even though y'all probably don't even care that much. It's always a question, can the Baysox stay consistent? And I think they will. It's just a matter of how good will Buffalo play? Will they shut them down? We don't know how an offensive game has played against an offensive game here. Usually they kind of destroy them. Buffalo, but I don't actually know if okay, we're good on that HUD, but I don't actually know what will happen if we put an offensive team against an offensive team. I know I did all these cool pond simulations, and I couldn't get that thing to put together. We had a control team against a defensive team. The control team ended up winning big time. We have a poverty franchise versus a real franchise, and the real franchise ended up winning. I know, shocker. We had a very aggressive team go against a very offensively minded team that has an entire play spectrum versus just hit big and score big. And the offensive players with skill, along with a little bit of tenacity, beat them out 12-1. That was insane. If y'all were there for that Knoxville game, I don't know how the Knoxville fans stayed in attendance. I gotta shout out the Knoxville fandom. Y'all are the most goated individuals I've ever met. Well, now they're starting to get out on the field, but I'd say players to watch would be Wildfire. He's like Worm if he was super tenacious. He's all over the ball 24/7 most of the time. He's all over the players usually, just throwing people around, throwing them against the wall, blowing people up while flying. That's his entire playstyle, is just being super aggressive, and then he just gets that open net because they're so scared of him. And I'd be excited to see that happen, especially the shocker and like maybe the comeback season from Buffalo, because they've been kind of mid. Well, let's get to commentating. I'll be there with you every step of the way. I mean, that's what usually happens, right? I want to turn this up. Alright. Now we're just waiting for them to start. I really don't have anything else to say. And here we go. They're on the field, ready for the kickoff. And let's kick it off from Baltimore. This does not look like Baltimore. Big face-off looming already. Happy to have the scoreboard back. And if you didn't know, the Baltimore Baysox are in there, and they're usually not normal colors. In their blackout colors here. Penguin with a shot, scored immediately! They can even get their feet wet, or wheels wet, if you can even call it that. And Wildfire just makes that cross-crease pass for the Baysox. They didn't even have to do much. They just seize the opportunity of Buffalo choking. There's Molten with an aerial. We don't see that very often. There's a shot again. Molten saved that one. Another big thing is, can Molten show up? He's been the worst player statistically on the Bison. I think he's been the worst player this period for them, so it'll be nice to see how he shows up and how he chooses to show up here. Here's a backboard play from Botimus. Molten's going to save that one before any dangerous opportunities and attempts can be made. Here's Rafa with a bunch of open field. He's going to pass it to himself. What the frick is this? That was an insane play by the insane man Rafa. He just does crap like that routinely. If you've never watched an RLBA game, that's Rafa for you. Penguin, that's not Penguin, but Botimus takes a shot and immediately scores! Guess you're getting their groove at home, and I can't commentate tonight, so that's how things are going thus far. Hold on, I have to turn this off, for y'all are getting double audio, and I never saw that. I almost clicked restart match. By that, I mean the ref almost clicked that. Face-off looming here. Here's Molten. Off the wall now, going to get centered for King. Here's an own goal by... I don't even know who hit that. It was just Molten's goal. Welcome to Potato League, where this stuff happens routinely. Just past a Botimus, and he just shoved it into his own net. The Baltimore Baysox have actually scored 3 times today, one of which was on themselves. Here's Rafa. I don't know what was going on that kickoff. I guess King was manning it. He immediately went to get full boost instead. Here he is with an aerial. Molten with a shot that's going to go off the corner very narrow. Here's Rafa trying to flick it and gets nothing off of it. Straight to Penguin. He's going to kick it up the wall in the neutral zone now. Rafa's been kind of show-offy, but he's never been able to finish his chances. It'd be great to see him finish one, as King goes for the air dribble, but can't finish that one. Yeah, very mechy player. He's the #1 mechster in this league. Are we calling it that? No, we're not. The mech monkey. There's Penguin waiting under the ball patiently. Here's Wildfire trying to make his presence known. Finally, here's Rafa with the dribble, just to the neutral zone. He's going to flick it above Penguin, but can't get it over King. He denies that. Or he can just dribble it straight into his net. Here's Botimus. Huge aerial. I never see him half of the game, and then he just does stuff like that. Like, where does he go? We need, like, a crowd camera on here. That would be awesome. Sooner or later, I'll get that for, like, the finals game in this league or something, guys. Trust me. 2-1, 7 minutes left to play. A lot of time left to be played in this ball game. Here's Rafa. Another aerial to keep it in the corner for now. We'll try and make a move. Here's Wildfire with the shot. Scored! Left post! And that's going to be a huge one for him. Penguin, just a missed flip, I guess. Like a misfire. He's going to go straight left post. Absolutely 0 people are there as they're trying to get boosts. I guess they should have stayed better rotate. They should have stayed in their crease a little bit more. I don't know what kind of face-off that was from Wildfire. I can't talk tonight. Per usual, though. RLBA stream occurrence. Now Rafa backing up on it. Kamel move. Penguin's going to charge forward. That does not look very Penguin-like. And King's going to whiff! Botimus is gonna make the save of the century, though! Holy freaking crap, his Molten bodies king! That was the greatest save I've seen in not even Rocket League, in Wildfire. He's having his own party in his, like, net. What was that? Welcome to Potato League. I guess that's the quote for tonight, as these two teams have never played worse. I've never seen a worse ROBA game. Welcome to the ROBA, where this crap happens. Well, I guess this is what happens when you mix two offensive teams together. Like, half of the goals are own goals because they don't know how to play defense. Well, we figured it out, folks. Rafa, the aerial king himself, not necessarily the most mechy player in the league. It's King. Rafa trying to get it over to the corner now. King's going to get it out of the Baysox zone for the time being. Here's Molten hitting it up the wall over to King, and King's going to smother that opportunity. Another shot by Wildfire, saved by Botimus, and King's going to own goal! This dude hates his team! Are y'all seeing this? He's got like 2 own goals tonight. The Baysox are being... Like, did they get hypnotized before the game by the Buffalo Bison hypnotist? They're like, oh, you must score on your own goal! I don't know. Y'all gotta tell me this. What is Penguin doing? This is so awful. This is the worst game I've seen in my life. But that's what makes the ROBA so beautiful. You'll never understand what you're watching, and that's the beauty of it. Rafa makes a decent save there. Here's Wildfire trying to, like, do something for once in this game. There's King with the shot. Aerial play, and makes a beautiful goal. His plus-minus is, like, going to be phased negatively this game, so at least he does some sort of clipped material goal there. He flies right in the camera, almost breaks the camera. The amount of property damage King has done is over the top. Truly. And they're just leaving the ball there. Molten's going to pick it up. King's going to try and play defense for once in his career. He's going to do it. Here's Wildfire with a shot from your right post. Loves those posts. Never really goes top cheddar. I saw him do it once in practice, but of course that was in practice. He really loves those posts. Not really dinging them though. I don't think anybody does. But shot by King, that's going to go like 2 miles per hour and hit Penguin. Molten setting it up for Penguin. Penguin's going to flip into it with the most lazy shot I've seen any Baysox player do. Whiff fest over here. The shot by King, saved by Molten. Guess that whiff was needed, I guess, for the defensive plays of the Bison. But they're going to need another goal to, to stay competitive. Here's Molten. I swear, everything I've said today has ended with a question mark. Wildfire with another whiff, and Botimus is going to seize that opportunity. Really playing like bots. I guess without the precision from the Bison. I mean, they never really had that. They had team synergy and pretty decent talent. They never really had precision. One thing the Bison got to work on, I guess, in the offseason. Rafa with a pass off the corner of the arena. That was strange. Here's Molten with a huge shot that's going to go in! Bar down! Snipe, I think! I'm not even sure myself. That was huge for the Bison. He's going to go bar down from like a million feet out. That's going to be a morale changer for the Bison here. Let's see what they can get done here. Penguin, whiff central in this game. We can't stop whiffing. This is the worst game I've seen in my life. I cannot stress this enough. What is going on? Here's Rafa. Gonna get a chip over to Botimus, and Botimus is not going to seize that as Molten does some stupid crap with the ball. I mean, per usual, status quo for Molten. I mean, he just scored a pretty decent goal. I wouldn't be too shocked if he screwed around a little bit, but they're still down by 1 goal. Shot from King! Rafa's going to try and save that, but no! King shot it above 30 miles per hour, I guess, for this, like, once in this entire game. He got that opportunity straight central in the net. Still 4 minutes left to play. I wouldn't be too scared if I was the Bison. We just gotta, play more offensively and, not leave when we take off. Very open ball, straight for King, and King's gonna whiff once more. Wildfire playing the corners. His strong suit, but maybe not today, however. Molten. The left wall pass. It's going to be open for a long period of time, but Baysox are going to get that one. Here's a duo play, going to immediately get smothered by Wildfire before they can even get it and put in zone. It's a battle of who can whiff the least, I guess. They said Rocket League was a game of mistakes. I didn't think they meant that literally. Like, whoever whiffs less, like we're playing in bronze, will win the match or something like that. I don't know. There's Rafa flipping into the ball. He could have taken that, but he knows better than I. Obviously. Shot by King, that's going to go off the backboard. Rafa's spinning twice. He just wants to do stupid crap. He didn't even want to highlight aerials, actually. He just wants to flip around with the ball. King demoing Wildfire. Wildfire hasn't been very physical tonight, or very wild for that matter. Rafa and Molten both charging at the ball. They had team synergy in the fact that they shared one brain cell, I think. Just King trying to get the double touch, but it's not going to end up going. Maybe get a little bit higher on that ball, I assume. I don't know what happened with the camera there. Is Wildfire going to try and get it out, but it gets denied by King. Sustained offensive zone pressure been a big thing in this league. Maybe a little bit less ever since the River Cats started doing it ecstatically well. Tetra will not talk about the River Cats for once. In a single game is impossible. Rafa takes a shot to throw off the backboard. Finally not a whiff, but it doesn't go the way they wanted to. Wildfire is going to save that. I really thought I was going in, given how this game's been going. They still got 2 minutes. I wouldn't be too scared. 20% of the game left to play. That's enough to get 2 goals at least. If the Bison can heat it up, and here's Molten. Rafa tries to take a shot. It's going to go off, and nobody's really there. You're just going to leave it to the Baysox. Fed to the Wolves here. There's Molten. Molten's going to take a shot. Scored! Beautiful shot. Seizing the opportunity when, I guess, the buddy-buddy duo got 2 buddy-buddy, and he just seizes the opportunity. No goalie there. The one problem for the Baysox, especially when it comes to playoff time, is they have absolutely 0 defense. Same thing with this Bison team. They have been really competitive. Wildfire's going to try and turn it up, I assume, to close out this 1 minute and 30 seconds full of Wildfire demoing absolutely everyone who sees, or maybe just getting thrown around. Here's Rafa getting a perfect first touch, but he does absolutely nothing with that. Here's a shot by King, and he's going to score! I had no breath with that. I don't know what kind of achievement he just got there with the 2 hands, but beautiful shot going 70 miles per hour pretty much. I'm not going to count the extra 2. The 2 were added when, the crowd was so loud that it made the air thinner, which allowed the ball to go faster. I actually don't know if that would be a logical thing. It actually miscalculated. Alright, now trust me, they will get 1 more goal here, but it won't be enough. I mean, if King stopped playing volleyball. It's Penguin with the beautiful hustle here. Botimus with another shot, saved by Molten! There's another shot by King! Rafa tries to save that, and he can't! They're pretty much going to put the nail in the coffin with this thing. Competitive game full of, uncompetitiveness. But it's been good, I think. Wildfire, you gotta get something going here, man. I'm checking the stats. He's been getting absolutely 0 things going here. Molten has been... Can Molten show up? Put a check mark on that, but the other players just can't. Rafa with the opportunity, he's gonna take it! Maybe they have some life in them! Just maybe! I talked bad about Rafa for 1 second, I guess his ego kicked in. Then Penguin just starts flipping like he's in gymnastics or something. I'm sorry, buddy, that's not the sport we're playing. This is not the Rocket League bot air show. I don't even think he could be featured in that. 30 seconds remaining. Can they get 2 goals? Let's see. Will the blackout uniforms prevail? Will the Bison charge forward and get 2 goals and send it to overtime and maybe get a 3rd? Is Rafa doing that? Is fabled ball pinched? That was insane. Alright, maybe they learned how to play Rocket League like 10 seconds left in the game. If they can get it out. Yeah, I think the Baysox are going to put a nail in the coffin with this one. They're going to get it done. The blackout Baysox win. 8-6. I suck at commentating. I'm sorry. Well, maybe I don't. Because, in fact, just I stuttered a whole lot more than I should have. Your final score! Finally, your team wins at home! The Buffalo Bison, 6. And your Baltimore Baysox, 8! And your MVP will be King, even though he, like, scored on his own net, like, twice. Let's head to the end scene as I'm going to clip this. Pretty good game. I wouldn't say there was anything like notably bad, except, you know, all the whiffing and the teams looking like they played in bronze. A beautiful stop by Botimus. That was the highlight of the match. That was insane. I can't believe what I just saw there. And off that, there's really nothing left. The Buffalo Bison will fall. And with their playoff hopes kind of dwindling now, they have, let's see. I'm going to yap for a bit here. There's games that are done. They have the Harrisburg Senators to take on. They need to win that game. That is a must-win game, especially with them trading their number 1 guy, Nebulous, for him. This is a must-win game. Especially their rivals, the Knoxville Smokies going against the River Cats. They need to have that win, and the River Cats need to hold it down. And then they go, probably the biggest game of the season. The Knoxville Smokies will take on the Buffalo Bison. Make sure to tune in that one. I will have that one ready early. That will be Monday, June 23rd. Now, that is pretty much nowhere near where we are right now. That's like 13 days from now. But that will be week 7. Which is actually the last week in this season before the playoffs start. I have no clue how those are going to be set up. Neither do I know the dates. But hey, let's keep it real. I don't know what the frick I meant by that. I'm sorry. Alright. And that is once again, the Baltimore Baysox will win against Buffalo Bison. That is so... BB against BB. It's so difficult. Anyway, I'll see y'all next time, and that will be June 12th. The Sacramento River Cats will take on the Las Vegas Aviators. And that will be at 9 p.m. and Sacramento will be home. And that's it. That's the end of the stream. Thank you all for tuning in. We're just closing in on the 30-minute mark. I have been Tetro, and you have been watching the